Okay. Oh. Yo. Sit in this chair. Talk about your day.
Chill Town. Hello. Shout out. Shout out everyone for coming out, watching the Chill Town. We got YouTube open on the browser. Pepsi on deck.
Oh shit.
Corporate sponsorship, Pepsi, Cool Ranch Doritos.
This is a pretty sick video about how parking is like terrible. Like like cars are bad.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't tolerate this leftist propaganda.
Oh my fucking god. Because now you're here. So Ken in the house.
The house.
Oh yeah.
Baby camera.
Baby camera. Film the stream.
Okay.
Yeah. Get the stream. Ooh. Well. Okay, so.
I wonder if this will work.
So.
Camera reception. Yeah, it will work.
Oh yeah, no, a little bit. Oh,
I'm
nice.
fucking. I'm pirating your stream. Right
No,
now.
do it, dude. Do it. Yo, what up, Eliza? But yeah.
Shout out, Lisa.
So what is it that you do? Like what? like what would you say your role in the scene is?
I would say I'm like a camera operator, and then I document stuff, and that's like a broad answer. But yeah, I would say I'm like mainly known for my photography, if you want to say that. I've been shooting stuff around the Portland art scene since like 2018. And then a year ago, I made the big upgrade and got some video cameras.
Nice.
So that's why I say like camera operator, because I just operate cameras and document the scene and just local stuff around town.
So
that I like.
How can you fucking stand being around all these people?
Well,
how do you handle all the scene drama? How do you stay chill when everybody's trying to be so high key all the time?
I don't know. I've definitely had I'll answer this question with a movie. Fuck, I forgot the movie name.
Damn.
But it's the movie where there's this like kid, and he's like a 16-year-old high school journalist, and then he applies at Rolling Stone or some shit to interview like the Sex Pistols or some shit. And he ends up getting the job, and he's like this 15-year-old on like tour with the Sex Pistols or some big band like that. But the whole movie's just a metaphor that like journalists can never be friends with the people they are subject who they're like investigating or documenting, because there's always just a layer of transaction between the journalist and the subject. So like while I do have friends in the scene and in my real life and people I like making art with, I like to just keep a distance. But also like it's not that I hate anyone or anything, it's just that I have like a limited emotional energy about me. So that's pretty much how that goes.
No, I mean, I 100% feel it.
Also, I'm like a sober person, so like at shows and like other like shindigs, like my main focus at the show is documenting it. I don't really go there to like score weed or like pick up girls or anything. I go there just to shoot the show. It's like it's more of like I'm working out. It's not like, it's like kind of recreational, but it's mostly just like I want to get better at filming, and the scene is cool visually and sonically, obviously.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing. I guess what is your like end goal with the practice, and what are you? Because that's the thing, right? As Lisa says in the town, it's about the art, right?
The art.
But But is it really though? Like you said, you were trying to get good at camera stuff. Why do you want to get good at cameras? Why do you want to film anything? What's the
Oh, I
like?
don't know.
Who are you? You know what I mean?
Damn, that's deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm
deep.
super deep.
I guess there is no end goal. There's only like levels to level up on.
No, it's true.
But like I model my life after Stanley Kubrick. If people know about Stanley
Mm,
Kubrick, but
absolute
I'm nothing
legend.
like Stanley Kubrick because he was like born in the '40s and he's like this Jewish white boy from
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn. So we're obviously vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
But Stanley Kubrick was a photographer for a magazine for like a buttload of time, and then he was
Mm.
like, "I want to make movies. They're really expensive. The most affordable movie you can make is a documentary." So
Mm-hmm.
then that's where I am at. Like I'm at the beginning of the like documentary phase of my
Mm.
Stanley Kubrick life mapping,
Mm-hmm.
where I was like, I did photos for a while, and I did it purposefully to get good at using cameras and like learn about them.
Hmm.
And then yeah, now I'm on the pivot of like, okay, now I'm gonna shoot documentaries. And cool thing about shows is that like I can shoot photos there, but I can also shoot documentaries there, all in the same
Yeah.
space. It's just like a very little adjustment. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and it's just like when I was like 18 and 16, when I was like a old teenager, I was like I would go to shows, but I was still like a scared little kid. And then I had a camera, and I would just take pictures of like flowers and trees.
Mm.
And I always thought that if I took my camera out, like at shows or something, people would think I was weird. And then to a certain extent, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just too afraid to like be myself. So and then at some point, I just started like I'll just pull my camera out and I'll take a few pictures. And then I got the shutter bug, and like I just like doing it. It helps me, helps other people. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun. Why not?
No, and I guess I don't know. I kind of want to touch on the touch because there's a couple of different things to unpack there about like the social aspect of it. Do you think that it's like, yeah, no, that like, because that's the thing for me, like being extra and being like annoying and having a really like nasally voice like I do, that's like that's a way of like me. That's like kind of a power move for me, right? I come into the space and I like feel very like strong and imposing because deep down I'm like very scared, right? And so it's a way acting the way that I do is a way for me to like kind of like make the room mine.
Yeah,
And
I feel it.
do you think that for you there's a certain element there that's what like taking the camera out was for you a little bit? It was your way of kind of being like, oh yeah, no, this is like my space, I belong here, da 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 da.
Um, in a way, but I don't know. I like to like. I'm a very like passive like
Hmm.
camera person, if that makes sense.
As all good camera people should be.
Yeah, so it's like if like if me and the show are dancing, the show is definitely leading the
Mm-hmm.
footwork. I'm like I'm following the show. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
commanding the show, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
And that's hard in some instances where it's like, do I record this? It's like probably not, or like there's like obviously boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I do get a chance, I'll ask the main organizer or the performers like, "Hey, is it okay if I document you?" And most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, people say, "Yeah." If I don't get the chance, I just do it, and then people will be like, "Hey, like no" or whatnot. But
Mm.
it's just like a maturing aspect of it. But no, I would say definitely like the show tells me what to do if
Mm.
anything. 'Cause
See.
I'm waiting for something that like catches my eye to happen, and then I'll do the
Mm-hmm.
camera stuff.
No, and you mentioned earlier this idea of like you use photos first. You took pictures first, and you did that intentionally to like learn how cameras work. Um, do you think that that's like do you think somebody could learn with video first, or do you like what's the sort of advantage of like why is that a natural progression in your eyes, starting with like still pictures and then moving to video?
Um, a bunch of factors, but it's just more simple to do photos before video. It's
Mm-hmm.
also like a lower investment where you can shoot a whole show with one photo camera, and it'll probably come out really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be hard to shoot a show with one video camera the
Oh
whole time
yeah.
and still have it be sick. You can still do a
Mm-hmm.
good job, but and then also there's a sound element to video
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't exist in photos.
Mm.
And also videos are just more complicated
No, they are more
because it's more
complicated.
steps and it's easier to mess them up.
Well, and I think there's I mean cameras like photo cameras have like autofocus and auto exposure and stuff, but I think it's with video a lot of that stuff is way more like automated and sort of like kind of like taken care of for you, whereas I feel like yeah really thinking about camera trying to take the picture right really does force you to like think about how light is entering the how light is entering the aperture, and then once you have that down you can like okay now how do we get like what happens when we do that like 60 times a second, or like
Yeah.
what happens when we, and so you might have a better I could imagine you having like a better intuition about like especially the relationship between like exposure and then how bright the shot is, and like having like all these kind of intuitions about like how these things are going to be shot so that when you start doing cinematography and directing and all that shit it's like you kind of know what to do a little bit.
For sure. And then there's also just like a I don't know, practice, like a practice like aspect of it where it's like when I started shooting photos at shows, like I would forget SD cards or forget to recharge all my batteries. So like I'm missing shots or just like not doing anything because I'm charging my batteries, or I forgot my SD cards, and it's like it just makes it easier to like learn all that stuff while like the overhead is low. So it's like now it's like I always remember. There's things that's like I always remember. Like I always remember to charge my batteries. I always got everything I need.
How many batteries do you have on you, and then how many SD cards do you bring to the show?
I think I have like 20 SD cards.
Damn, that was so much higher than I thought you were gonna say.
I don't use all of them
Oh, okay.
in one show.
No, but how many? Okay, how many do you take to the show? If you roll up to the show, how many SD cards will you have on you?
I'll have all of my SD cards. Well, it's like it's just a good thing to do because like sometimes a photographer or another video person will need an SD card for whatever reason. Or
No, that's true.
basically, like if you're gonna be, in my opinion, if I'm shooting a show, like I don't even want to think about running out of SD card space. So it's just, but it never happens. Usually, I fill up 5, like 64s.
Damn.
And then that's like a whole like 4 or 5 hour show depending on how many photos I shoot.
Yeah.
And then batteries is kind of complicated because I keep like a big sack of AA batteries on me for various devices, and I probably have like 50 of those.
But like camera batteries, like the Sony, like the Nikon batteries.
Probably like 12.
Damn. Those are numbers that were both way higher than what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, like if you don't want to be running out of batteries or anything.
No, it's true. You really don't want to be running out of batteries. No, I mean that's fascinating. But okay, so what cameras you got?
I have the 5D Mark III. It's a photo camera. It does video as well, but not that good. But that was my first pro grade camera. I still shoot with it. I'll probably buy another one when that one breaks. And then I have a Canon C100 Mark II. That's like an old broadcasting camera. That was my first video camera. And then I got an EOS R like 3 months ago, and that was my first like 4K camera. And,
nice.
Yeah, it's been fun. That camera is awesome. And then where'd it go? Oh yeah. And I keep this baby cam on me.
Yo, nice.
This is my first camera ever. Not this exact one, but this one. It's a
nice
PowerShot A480, but this is the first one I tried. And then some photographers that I like follow on the internet.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
They all shoot Canon, so I was like, I'm gonna shoot Canon, and then I just kind of stuck with it. But yeah, those are all the cameras I use regularly. I got some on the shelf, but those are more like decorations.
What's the difference between 4K and 1080p.
Um, 4K is more expensive. No, just resolution and like pixels and
Right.
the image size,
Mm-hmm.
and then it depends because it's like depends like what frame rate you use and shutter
Mm-hmm.
speeds because you can shoot 4K really badly, and you can shoot 1080p very well.
Right.
So that's the main difference is
Mm-hmm.
resolution and like
What makes a good show?
oh uh whether Lisa Dank is there or not.
Oh, damn. Life of the fucking party. No, it's true. It's true. And then, but I do think there's kind of something to think about there is like with the what aspect of show culture are you trying to capture? And like, yeah, no, when in your mind does the party get lit?
Damn. Uh okay, so let's run it back. Okay, so what makes a good show? Definitely the vibes and just like everybody having like a cool, safe, chill place to hang out, and then
Mm-hmm.
like um I read this post on Instagram, or no, my homie read this post and then they told me about it. But someone posted that like it's cool that we have like people in our community that will throw shows for like everyone who so that we can afford it because
Mm-hmm.
it's like for the most part I would say like all the DIY shows and stuff are like affordable, and then if you want to go super like I don't know textbook on it and be like well Marx would say and some other shit. But like it is cool that like all of us are like pretty much working class, and then like we all get to like forget about like how much food or when the electric bills due or
Mm-hmm.
like how much you like your family's fucking with you at that moment, and we all
Mm.
get to come together and just like forget about everything else that hurts us and just like love each other and just vibe out.
No, it's true. That definitely is possible. It took me a while to get to the point where that's what the show was. For a while, I spent a lot of time just like sitting there, like feeling really out of place. Did you ever at one point did you ever feel cynically about the scene
Yeah,
at one point?
yeah, I would say I felt weird twice, only twice in my
Just
life.
two times.
Well, when I first got into the scene, but like I was just like leaving adolescence, so that's like a weird
Mm-hmm.
stage as well. And then I didn't do art, and well, I did a little bit of art in high school and stuff, but I wasn't like the art kid in high school.
Mm.
So like I was trying to figure that out, like, oh, am I an artist or like am I just a dude with a camera or like because there's people around me who I thought were doing really cool stuff, and I felt really out of place. And I would say I felt weird at that point where it's like, am I here just to get drunk and like do some lines of coke and like creep girls out? And then that was like kind of an aspect of me when I was like 18 and 19. And then
Mm-hmm.
I like learned from those experiences, and then I went to like, oh, I'm here to vibe, and I take some photos. And then I
Mm.
ended up like, obviously everybody kind of went sideways during the pandemic,
Right.
but obviously everyone exited show life or being a show rat life. Everyone kind of had to exit that life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got kind of sober like at the end of the pandemic. So when I
Mm.
returned back into the scene, I was like older and I was not off like drugs or alcohol. So it
Mm.
became a new weird out of place feeling where it's like, what am
Mm.
I doing here? Like I'm not like getting turned, and like a lot of the old a lot of my old cohort has like
Mm-hmm.
left the scene or they went on to go do other stuff. So I'm
Mm.
like, I'm not sure what I'm doing here again. And then obviously I kind of learned how to like be sober at shows, and like I made new friends at shows who I can like confide in. So like,
Mm.
but yeah, and I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. Like, what's like am I like being healthy towards myself, being at
Mm-hmm.
shows when like I don't use drugs, and then like I don't care if anyone uses drugs around me, but there's still like a boundary in my head where it's like
Mm-hmm.
probably shouldn't be standing next to someone like taking lines or
Yeah.
doing hella whippets and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to like isolate myself, and then we kind of go back to like there's like a barrier between me and the show and the
Mm.
people at the show for the most part, or I'm like documenting them, and then uh, That's pretty much it, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
No, I mean, I definitely think that the sobriety aspect of things could be very, very challenging, and I feel like that's something that kind of doesn't necessarily get like talked about because it's like yeah no it's very interesting, right? Like because what does it mean to be like inclusive, right? Like because people always talk about how, oh yeah, no, these shows are so good, like we all just come together, we all just chill, and it's so like sick, and it, so it's like and that's the thing, right? It's like why are we here? I think is a very important question, and I think a lot of people, especially in DIY scenes, like they'll talk the talk, right? They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I just really care about my community. I really care about like what's happening," and but they don't, right? They
Yeah,
don't, and for
true.
me, I think like there was definitely a point where, and I think I've started being more honest with myself. Is that like I am just kind of like at shows to like meet people and have a good time. I really do like it's become much more of a like it's almost kind of like a weird like political like networking thing. Like it's like connecting with folks that like might be like minded so that we can get up to crazy shit or whatever. And then there's also this aspect of like, oh, I'm trying to like run into some like very interesting people. um and then also there is like kind of this whole like, oh yeah, no, I'm out for the clout, I'm trying to be
I'm
I'm
out
trying
for
to
the
I'm
clout.
out for the clout.
I feel it.
So but it's like I don't know, I just don't really think there's anything like that wrong with that necessarily. Like obviously it's one thing if you like literally hate everyone that you're like trying to like clout chase, but like I don't. I feel like I've met for every like complete fucking shitbag I've met like, 5 or 6 like pretty decent people. And it's like the thing is everybody has phases.
For sure.
People can be shitbags sometimes and then,
Yeah.
chill other times. So it's just about catching people in the right moment. But like yeah. No, I don't know. I guess here is there what do you got any other big things you want to say?
Uh, um, I guess we never answered what aspect of show
Oh
culture.
yeah, no, we did not.
I would say just the visual aspect. Larry Clark is like this old photographer filmmaker. Um, he like said in New York he would like shoot he would shoot photos of everybody on the street, and he said the most visually interesting people he saw were the skateboarders, and that's kind
Oh.
of how like Kids was made, and like how like
Oh, the Harmony Korine
yeah,
thing.
because Harmony, I think
Yeah, he wrote
he
it.
wrote it, and then Larry Clark directed it.
Damn.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of like how like cool things from that era happened. Was like Larry Clark or other photographers were like, "What's the most interesting thing around?" And that's kind of how like a lot of drag and like skateboarding got
Mhm.
documented, or per se like why, because a lot of like the people shooting skateboarders and drag weren't necessarily doing drag or skating.
Right.
But I would say just the visual and then also historical aspect of shows, where if like there was no photographers or video people at shows, there wouldn't be any record of it.
Right.
And then I'm obviously like a huge leftist, and I love supporting the all like my trans homies and
Mhm.
non-binary homies, and just like
No, yes, I'm gonna give you. Oh, I wish we should have gold star ally stickers, cause that would be fun.
because
That would be.
I could easily go to a monster truck rally or some shit
No,
and
it's
just shoot
true.
cis white dudes all day and
Mm-hmm.
get like hella clout.
No, you totally could. No, and that's the thing. I'm sincere when I say the gold star ally thing. Like it is like a funny thing to say, but I think it's like yeah, no, we could all be like doing different things, and I think especially with photography, it's like yeah, no, you could like take pictures of like literally like you could just take pictures of what everybody else is already taking pictures of, but it's like now you're instead choosing to focus your efforts on like something that is local, it's directly around you, and it's, yeah, no, got a lot of, marginalized people there. And I do think that that's like, I don't know, I do think that that's very inspiring, this like the fact that you're, yeah, no, you're making this choice to like focus the camera on something, on something that, on something that is less often seen. And I think the scene is better for it, that there's a record. And that's part of the local cinema thing too, is it's like, yeah, no, this is a cinema, we want to like show you what's happening. And I because I think that's the thing, not a lot of people get to see. And it's so difficult to like find your way into the scene, but like once you're there, it's like, you know once you're there, you can really find yourself swimming in it. It's like, oh my god, one of these fucking people. But it's like, I don't know. I want to see with this dude. I really like this. I wanted to be a writer, but I had a camera in my hand. Can we watch this?
Yeah, let's do it. Larry Clark.
Oh, what the fuck?